Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. This video is about the key data releases coming this week. So this is Forex Factor calendar. I think most of the people who trade Forex are well aware of this Forex Factory website. And if you look at the calendar in this side, this is Monday. Tomorrow the market early morning the market opens Monday 22nd Jan, and then there is not much any data release tomorrow. But if you look at on Tuesday, you have a very important data release from the BOJ, that is a monetary policy statement, Bank of Japan outlook report, and press conference. This is a very important data release in terms of Japanese yen, like whoever are trading the yen pairs like dollar yen, euro yen, pound yen, New Zealand and Australia yen. This data release is very important. Especially, you need to keep in mind at the time of this data release, there will be a much volatility in the market. Especially the yen pairs might swing high and lows. So just need to keep an eye on this risk event, because most of the analysts expect the BOJ to not make any changes this meeting, because it is a very first month of the year. So many analysts are not expecting to make any changes at this meeting by the BOJ. But later on, after the monetary policy statement, there might be uh, any statement from the BOJ governor, there might be a change of language in his press conference, when the BOJ might end the negative interest rate hikes and start looking for interest rate hikes, or when they might end the bond purchases. Any kind of this language coming from the Bank of Japan governor will impact the Japanese bonds. Uh, so that will be impact on JPY pairs as well. So if the BOJ comes up or surprises the market with a rate hike ending their negative interest rates, then the market would react very aggressively, full of volatility. You can see the USD JPY pair will fall rapidly. Now, currently, the USD JPY is trading at level 148.35, and it is clearly last couple of weeks, I should say, it is completely on this bullish mode, and it has tested this key resistance level 148.35 to, and it hasn't broken above this level. So Tuesday is a very important day. If there is any change from the BOJ monetary policy statement, or if they surprise the markets by any rate hike, then the USD JPY will fall rapidly from this current level to almost 141, or it might test again 135, 130 level also. Because once the BOJ changes its monetary policy statement, all the investors, traders will definitely capitalize this opportunity and trade the dollar yen, euro yen, pound yen, so all the yen pairs. So, but many of the analysts are expecting the BOJ to not make any changes at this meeting, because it is very first month of the year. So, but later on, either maybe in the February or March meeting, maybe Bank of Japan governor might make any changes. Like they might come up with interest rate hikes. Like they might hike the interest rates, and they might make the interest rates and keep an end to the negative interest rates, but that it depends upon time. We have to wait until the time, but for this month most of the analysts are expecting not to make any changes from the BOJ. And so this is the dollar yen chart. You can clearly see this dollar yen has tested this highest 151.748 level, and it has come down to 140 level. But again, since last 2 weeks, this is on a continuous bullish mode and is testing this 148.352 level. So, if on Tuesday, once the monetary policy statement is released, and there is if there is any if there is no change from the BOJ, then this dollar yen will continue its bullish momentum, and again it will test this level 151. Because if there is no change, dollar yen will become weak, and dollar yen will go up, risk on mode. If there is any change in the language later in the press conference by the BOJ governor, if there is any change in the language, like if he gives any hints about when the interest rate hikes might happen, or when they are planning to stop these bond purchases, or when they are what are their plans in controlling the yield curve. So definitely at that point of time also, in the press conference, the market might react aggressively. So this is one of the key important data you need to watch it. And on Tuesday again in the evening, there is not much important data. Richmond Manufacturing Index. But on Wednesday, if you look at in the early morning 3:15 a.m., there is a data release from the New Zealand CPI QIQ Consumer Price Index from the New Zealand quarter on quarter. Those This is expected to be soft compared to previous month. So this, if the number is expected, if the number comes above than forecast, or even above than the previous one, then definitely it is not a good thing for the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, because they need to hike the interest rates, or else they might need to just keep the interest rates on a hold for a very long time. I mean, they shouldn't look for any rate cuts in the near term. So this data is also very important. And if you look at on Wednesday, in the once the European market London session opens, there are a lot of data coming from the uh, euro French flash manufacturing, French flash services PMI, German flash services PMI, flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI. So if all this data is also important. If the data is if these numbers are good, then definitely this is good for the country's economy, and also economic growth. So which will be, if the data all are positive, then definitely it will boost the euro, and same goes with the pound. If the data is positive, which it will boost the pound, or else if the data comes negative, then definitely it is not a good thing for the pound, and you can expect some movement from the euro and GBP pairs after this data releases. And in the evening, if you look at in the evening, there is a huge data coming up from the SCAD, Bank of Canada rate statement. So Bank of Canada is expected to hold the interest rate hike, and they are not expected to make any changes. So if there is any statement from the Bank of Canada regarding the further rate cuts, or else anything, then the market then might react aggressively. All the CAD pairs will definitely more fluctuate. And if you look at this USD flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI, which Or these both data points are very important. And if these numbers are coming good, then definitely you might see once again risk aversion, risk on risk aversion in the market. And if there is a risk on risk aversion market, definitely dollar becomes stronger and bond yields will shoot higher. Global markets, there will be impact on global markets as well. So if the data is negative, if the data is negative, which is a good thing for Fed, because Fed is always looking for a stable growth, at least a short term, short mid term, decent data. If these numbers are coming very high, then it will become a problem for Fed and it will land. And Analysts expect the Fed to not cut any rates further and keep the rates on hold for a very long time, which makes difficult for Fed because the economy might land in a hard landing. So this is a very important data you need to keep an eye on. But later again 9 p.m. you can see Bank of Canada press conference. So any changes from the Bank of Canada, any statements releasing from the Bank of Canada might affect the market to and fro, high volatility. And if you're coming on Thursday, Jan 25th, you can clearly see there is a it's 2:30 p.m. German IFO business climate. Here it is orange color, but this is also very important data in terms of if you are trading a euro. If this number is good, example the previous 86.4 and expected is 86.7, and if the number is good, at least if this number is positive, then definitely it will boost a euro currency and all the euro pairs. So that will be a good opportunity to take any long position. But in the evening, if you look at the data, then you just you can see it is a very important the rate decision 4.5 4.5 interest rate. ECB is expect many analysts expect the ECB to maintain its interest rates on a hold, not to make any changes, because there is a speculation going on in the market that the ECB might be the first central bank to cut the interest rates before Fed and Bank of England. But ECB, European Central Bank, European economy growth is also not that good, because the data points, whatever the data points are just releasing, it's not coming on a good note. So the growth is sluggish. So you need to keep an eye on this important risk event, data release, monetary policy statement. If the ECB President Christian Lagarde in the press conference states or gives any hint about further rate cuts, or else if she gives any hint on how long these interest rates are going to be on hold for a very long period of time, what is the path, like what is the duration of the interest rates, like, so that might again affect the markets. So this is a very important. Again on the 7 p.m. you have a USD advanced GDP Q by Q. Unemployment claims last week, it was a very good positive number which has boosted the dollar. But if you look at the advanced GDP, what is this one? Advanced, preliminary, and final. So generally there are three types of GDP releases: advanced, preliminary, and final. Advanced GDP is the most important, and that advanced is the earliest, and that tends to have the most impact. So if this data is very important, if this data is positive, which will be which will boost the dollar, that means the economy is going very strong. So this is also important. So this coming week full of risk events, fully loaded in the calendar. So later on 7:15 p.m. we have an ECB press conference from Christian Lagarde, and coming the next day on Friday 7 p.m. you have an USD data, core PC price index, which is a very very important data in terms of investors or traders will be keeping an eye on this data, because this is change in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers. This is excluding food and energy. So if this data is coming negative, then it is good for the Fed. If this data is coming positive, then again the inflation will definitely rise again, might rise again in the next month, and which will become difficult for the Fed to cut the rates anytime further. So this core PC price index is a very important data release. If this Because it excludes food and energy prices. CPI's Consumer Price Index, which is an overall Q on Q, M on M, and Y on Y. In that there will be a headline number, month on month number. But this is also core PC price index. This is excluding food and energy prices. This is also inflation figure, but it is month on month. If this inflation figure is coming low, then definitely it is a good thing for Fed, and if this is higher, then it becomes problem for the Fed in cutting the interest rates further. So this is how the Forex factory calendar, you can just see Monday to Friday, full of risk events loaded. So you need to be very careful, just because every time there will be data releases from the major central banks like Fed or ECB or BOE or Bank of Canada, BOJ. Definitely the market will be very volatile and aggressive. So this is how it goes. So hope you will have a great week ahead. Thank you for watching.